right, back to the deck project again. And as you can see, I've got the demolition all taken care of. So according to my last video, I was going to come all the way up to these steps right here, and I decided to leave a few extra boards. These boards were just in such good shape that I just didn't see any reason to keep pulling boards back. The one just before, the last one that I took off right here, that board must have taken me 10 minutes to get off. It was just a strong board. All the fasteners were strong on it, and the board was still thick. It wasn't cracked. I pulled it up because I had already started pulling it up, but then I just decided all these boards back in this area, they're all in good shape, and there's just really no reason for me to take those off. So that was going to save me a little bit of money right there. And then same thing up there. When my intention was just go ahead and take them all off, but when I started to get to some of these boards in here, they were just solid boards. All the fasteners were in really good shape, and I just wasn't going to keep taking them off. If the board was that stubborn to come up, then I just wasn't going to take them off. So grand total, by leaving those boards on here and leaving these boards on here, probably $100 it saved me, something like that. But about 98% of what it was that I had mentioned in my last video that I wanted to get up, I did in fact get up. Got that stuff put in the dump trailer, and got all the screws, or not the screws, well, actually a combination of screws and nails that were all stuck in all these boards. I got all of those zizzed off, and everything's clean and ready to go. So I am ready to start putting this thing together. And the other day my wood got delivered, so everything is here and we are ready to go. So my grand total as far as the board count is concerned, I did order some extra framing boards, some 2x8s, so that kind of added to the count. In terms of the actual decking board itself, the count was 118 boards of various lengths. I have 14 footers, I have 10 footers, and I have 8 footers of various counts, but that ended up being the grand total on the count. Also, I very much want to thank my friend Rob, who is a custom home builder, and he has made the offer on a couple of occasions that you know, when I'm out here doing various projects and all that, to just give him a call, let him know what I need, how many I need, and he will go through one of his lumber yards, and he'll order it and have it delivered for me. So that's exactly what happened. I just gave him the numbers, and they brought it out yesterday. All right, so anyway, everything is here, and I am ready to start throwing some boards down and getting this thing back together. Let's do it. Yes. I was hoping that board would not break in half. All right, I'm done. I finally got this damn deck project done. Oh, It took me a while to get motivated, but once I got the vision and I knew what direction I needed to go, then I just put on my big boy pants and I got after it. And so yeah, I mean, there was some exceptions, you know, and you know, this area over here I didn't go as far as I said that I was going to go. The boards were in good shape and I just didn't need to mess with them. Over here was the same way. I made some modifications along the way. This bench right here, it was actually kind of a bar. It was a little bit higher, had a footrest on it and all that kind of stuff. You could sit there, and it was kind of like a little mini bar kind of thing. I decided to do away with that and just make another bench. And the reason that I did that is because I had a bench that was over here that was just gotten all twisted and everything over the years, the sun and the weather just beating down on it, and I decided that I was not going to rebuild it, get more material and all that kind of stuff. I had everything I needed to just make another rail across there, so I took the bench out and put a rail up. And then this bench over here, I'm going to be able to salvage it. And you can kind of see that I've done the bench theme along this deck in several different places. So so that ended up being the best solution over there. But yeah, I mean, the frame itself, I added a lot more structure to it. Underneath these, that board right in there needed to be replaced. Those actually got taken off and turned around. And so there was just all kinds of little modifications that I made along the way. But yeah, it's finally there. So I'm done with the refurbishing of the deck project. So as you might recall, it started out initially, and this is now 5 months ago that I started all this. But it started out with putting the roof over the top of that arbor right there. I had a hot tub that was sitting over here that I chopped up and carried away. And then we had another kind of arbor looking thing that was sitting here that I disassembled and carried it away as well. And so now that all of this is done, now the staining needs to begin. Everything that's back here on this portion of the deck, the furniture, the little shelves, all that is going to have to come off. It's all going to be pressure washed, and I'm going to begin the staining process of all of this wood. All of this new deck, it's going to sit here and kind of simmer for a minute. I'm going to just kind of let it baste in the Georgia heat and humidity for a while, and let that moisture kind of get drawn out of this pressure treated pine. And then I will come back and stain this at a later date. And then in doing all of this, I decided that now that I have this area over here underneath this covered arbor right here, I've decided that I am going to put a bar across this area right here. My grill will end up going in this area. And the bar that I am going to use, I am actually going to repurpose that arbor that I had sitting right here in this area. I'm going to take the metal off of it. I'm going to take the shelving system that was in it. I'm going to cut some stuff up. I'm going to weld some stuff. I'm going to add some stuff. And I'm going to just kind of do what I can to make a bar right across this area right here. So that'll be another project for another day. But I'm just glad to finally have this deck project done. I think everything came out pretty good. The wood that my friend Rob had ordered up for me and had delivered was all, you know, there's always going to be some pieces in there that you kind of put back. I ordered extra, so I was able to take the better pieces. But there's always one or two that you're going to put back and you're not going to use because it just wasn't all that great. But I would say 99% of all of this wood that I have right here was just really good quality wood and nice and straight. All right, so at this point, I am going to call this portion of the deck project done. On to the next job.